Okay, this is just a rehearsal. I don't know if it comes good. We'll put it up. Well, races for tomorrow, which is the 16th January. We have Calcutta Races, 7 races. The first race, well, there are a few runners which do catch my eye, but I think it's best to skip them. You can take a paddock look, and if I get a chance to speak in the paddock, I'll definitely let you know what I think stands out, if anything. But I think they are a pretty backward bunch. I think confidently placing better than them wouldn't be a wise thing. The second race, the Eastern Command Cup, is a class 2 affair. Classy horses are running here. A horse which is running in Calcutta for the first time is Eternal Princess. I think it ran with a mark of 81 in Bangalore, came down to Calcutta, and it's been given the same rating. I think it's run against some very illustrious horses, and I think it definitely is one of the first contenders which I look at. R. Manish is a decent rider, and Rajesh has booked R. Manish. I'm not sure what's the thing, Suraj's flight plan. So he's coming in for a later race, but I don't know with Suraj coming due to rider race. I don't know why R. Manish is booked, but I think nonetheless Eternal Princess will be one of the frontline contenders. Doctor Doom, I think takes a little bit of time to warm up, and if that's the case, 1100 may be a little slow, a little short for it. And another horse which caught my eye was Kalahari Gold. Kalahari Gold was very, very impressive. Impressive winner of his last start. I should say of her last start, and she won very impressively. The field that she beat wasn't really much, but if you go back to her runs in Mysore were decent. But I think if I have to compare oranges with oranges, I think Southern India form, I think Eternal Princess still holds slight advantage over Kalahari Gold. A runner from Dr. Anil Kumar's yard, which is K Star, has mostly campaigned in Madras and Bangalore. Well, couple of wins in, I think one win in Bangalore. I don't know much about jockey AIS Khan, so I can't really speak much about this horse. Mescal, a horse which definitely likes to come from behind, but then has won in class 3, beat Dubai Star, and like I know this horse wouldn't be in training for too long. So let's hope Mescal runs a good race. So my pick in this race, I think Eternal Princess, and watch the betting, but I think Eternal Princess, if a small flutter on it, is definitely advisable. Third race, the Lieutenant General Jamil Mahmood Memorial Cup Division 1. I think Tucson definitely stands out, and Tucson been a little unlucky, but the horses Tucson has met with very good horses like Oh My Darling, 2 wins for Oh My Darling, White Roses, 3 wins for White Roses. So I think Tucson definitely stands out in this field. I think it should be only worry, if anything, would be Miso. But I think Miso is a little bit of an enigmatic horse. You can't really rely too much on Miso because we are yet to see him perform uh, credibly. But I think it's well bred. And when Miso comes into the winning enclosure, I think it will reel off a few wins. So for today, I think Tucson should hold sway. Moving on to the fourth race, the Division 2 of the Lieutenant General Jamil Mahmood Memorial Cup. Here it's a little bit of a, I think, even though it's a Division 2, I think it's more open Division 2 of this race. And I think horses like Rocket Man, Macchiato, these are definitely your frontline contenders. Banksy, which is a campaign in Pune without any luck, had a decent stint in Calcutta before it went back to Western India. It's come back to Calcutta, and now it's under Calcutta ownership, so it's been sold off. I think Banksy perhaps would need this run. Soul Music, a very light frame filly, but a very gallant filly nevertheless. But I think the race should be between Rocket Man and Macchiato. And I think Rocket Man deserves another chance here. And I think with NS Permar on board, I think Rocket Man definitely will be get my first vote, and followed there by Macchiato. The fifth race, the Perrin Dalal Alogananda Stakes for fillies 3-year-old only. Over here, a couple of runners are carrying in fact, only one runner is carrying a winner's penalty, which is Natural Grace, which is getting giving 4 kilos to the rest of the field. I think Natural Grace can afford to give that 4 kilos to them. The runners which have had a run among them is Just Dash and Sea Salt Caramel. I think she well and truly beat them that day, and I think Neeraj Raul and Neil Darasha should get another one here with Natural Grace. I think you may not get much of an odd, but if you do get a decent odd, I think Natural Grace is a horse which you can back confidently. The sixth race, the Bengal Area Cup, the Class 3 affair. Earlier, I think this was a higher class race, but today it's Class 3 over 1400 meters. Over here, I think the first three runners, I can say first five runners, I think they will need to show something before I start recommending them. Gimla, which has come down from southern India, couple of wins back to back for Gimla, but I don't see anything in 1400 meters. It's been so far traversing over 1200 meters to win one 1400-meter run where it finished on 12th to Jamari in the Bangalore Million over in the Terms event. So I don't know about Gimla much about. So I would be wild guessing if I have to give it a chance or rule it out. So the three other runners, that's Dance Along, Tropical Lady, and 10. Well, Dance Along, I think, is a very decent type and was used as a pacemaker for long lease. Not a pacemaker, I shouldn't say pacemaker, but ran a forward race. And I think Dance Along, considering her monsoon form, I think she definitely comes into the fray. Tropical Lady has done nothing wrong in this season, carrying almost bottom weight with NS Parmar flyweight jockey and a couple of wins. Cosmic Cowboy, who she got the measure of, has subsequently won. She finished on second in the only win in monsoon start she had to Dance Along, where Dance Along truly had the measure of her, where Dance Along was giving her similar weight, which was I think half a kilo between them. So I think on that crowd, I think Dance Along still holds that good, and Dance Along has run in the two ladies classics. Moving on to 10, I think 10, the last start was carrying top weight in class 4, now on a promotion in class 3. And I generally don't like juveniles who haven't won in a handicap. Like I generally prefer horses which have juveniles which have won some maiden terms event. Uh, I mean something like a million or a decent type race, and then come into a class 3. But if they want just a maiden, ordinary maiden, then I generally like to see them maybe in a higher weight in class 4. But then 10 is done class 4 where he finished on second, and earlier he finished on third. So today I think they might feel that he's not a weight carrier, and that's why they're running him in class 3. But I think 10 is a very decent type of horse, and Vinay Jaswal has been riding some absolute peach races. And I personally have a very soft corner for him, and I like the lad. He's a very, very humble boy. And I think if he gets a lot of opportunity, I think he will prove a lot of people wrong about how good of a rider he is. So I think the toss up between 10 and Dance Along, and I think you can't rule out a horse which is unbeaten so far in the season, Tropical Lady. I think between these three, the race should be there. I will, with my bias, I will go with 10, but I think Dance Along is the horse 10 has to beat if he has to win this race. Moving on to the seventh and last race, this is three horses which took part in the Oaks, Skip the Derby, running here again, Zuma, Sea Eagle, 26 Black. Then we also have Amber Knight. Amber Knight is a horse which had a couple of wins back to back. Last start was almost left at the gate. I remember calling the race. It lost about, I think, 4-5 lengths at the start, was brushed up, and then came out and finished late in the day, finished on fourth. I think Amber Knight would be a horse which would definitely like the 2400 meters. And I think if Amber Knight again gets left behind maybe a couple of lengths at the start, it wouldn't be a bad thing for Amber Knight. Coming back to the frontline contenders, which are Zuma, definitely is the eye catcher for everybody because Suraj has been booked to ride, and I don't see Suraj riding anything else in the entire day. So he's coming down just to ride one horse. That's a substantial fee that the owners have decided to shell out to get Suraj down. And I think Zuma would be definitely a frontline contender. And what can we say about Suraj's riding? Sea Eagle with S01. I think S01 has those soft, nimble hands, where, I think he's very, very, a very nice lad. But apart from being a nice lad, he has that, ability to get horses around the park without really, punishing them. So I think Sea Eagle, I think, might need that tender handling. If you go back and see, Sea Eagle last time won under him when it got the measure of 26 black. So that brings me to 26 black. At 26 black, my personal fancy, I had told Mr. Daniel David that she should, I should say, will win a classic. Well, unfortunately, 26 black hasn't won a classic, but ran credibly, got black types, fourth in the 1000 guineas, fourth in the Oaks. In a small field, but nonetheless, fourth in each of those two races. And I think in the 1000 guineas, I think was a little unlucky. Went from the inside of the track in the bend to the outside. Lost a lot of ground. I think it might have finished on maybe a third or maybe perhaps even second. And the Oaks, I think it was a very simple race. I don't think 26 Black had any hard luck stories to tell. But I think 26 Black, a small mate filly, I don't know how good she's feeling on the day, but she's getting a little bit of weight from her age group horses, Zuma, Sea Eagle. I think 26 Black with Imran Chisti, I think could sneak in here. So for the last race, while all eyes would be on Zuma, my personal take would be, maybe I'm biased, is on 26 Black. And I think that's going to be my pick. So a quick recap. I'll do a quick recap in a shorter video in case you don't have the energy to watch it. So I will put that up.